Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Hi. For many years, I had to make tough decisions for my team and players. The decision for you is quite simple. If you have a house that is in need of repair, call my friend Dale. Dale buy houses. Recently, I spoke with Dale about my property. He gave me all of the do's and don'ts. He wanted me to be smart about the decision I was going to make. You ought to be smart too. Call Dale. He buy houses.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach at Scoreboards Sports Grill, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill. Coach, the LSU basketball Tigers continue to roll right along, just one single loss in conference play. The last 2 games, crowds are right at 13,000 in the Maravich Assembly Center. How great is it to see that level of excitement return to the PMAC?
That's what you call real support, and they're winning. And you should be there to support the kids and the coach and the athletic program. So I just think that they're doing very well. They've got some tough games coming up. I think the next game is Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Of course, now, it didn't take long for the crowds to come back, but more important, to get real boisterous. I mean, LSU fans are known for being rabid, but when you win, it's easy to do that, isn't it?
It is. It's just an attitude that you develop when you're winning, and people want to be a part of that, Clarence.
Yeah. This particular team, Coach, it seems like they're never out of the game, no matter what the deficit is, no matter how little time is left on the clock. But you've got to be concerned that at some point that'll catch up with you, right?
It could, but let me just say that it's one game at a time, and teams play different against different opponents.
Right.
And he can play a lot of people, which is always good. And the thing that I'm impressed is they shoot the ball very well.
Oh, yeah.
And if you shoot the ball well, you're going to be in most games.
How tough is it from a coaching standpoint to get a team this young to go pedal to the metal right out of the gate?
Well, that's always tough when you have a young team going pedal to the metal.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Foot to the floor.
Foot to the floor. I know. That's what I was hoping. But they're doing a good job at that. And you try not to really worry about that as long as you get them. One thing in the coaching profession and the way we think, if kids are playing well, you don't really think about youth. You just think about consistency and making improvement on the mistakes you make.
Obviously, this team has bought into what Coach Will Wade's philosophy is all about. How important is that for a team's long-term success, and how tough is it to do that, to get them to buy what you're selling with today's generation of kids, and maybe more important, with today's generation of kids' parents?
Well, I think he recruited kids who probably could fit in the type of system that he wanted to run. And I think that's the biggest thing there. He recruited those kind of kids. So once you look at Bruce Pearl, look at you, Bruce. I got excited. I'm sorry, Clarence. I got excited when I saw my man Bruce Pearl. But you recruit kids, fit the system, and then kids are more comfortable playing roles based upon the system that the coach has.
Of course, now, as you mentioned earlier, they're going to face their stiffest test to date this week, traveling up to historic Rupp Arena to take on number 5 Kentucky. That's got to be one of the more intimidating scenarios in all of college sports.
Well, it is. 26,000, some of the greatest players Kentucky recruit year in and year out, usually number 1 draft choice, premium players. I just think that it's a great test for them. Let me just say this. If you ever going to win and ever make a statement, you got to punch the best team right in the mouth. And I think that's what a coach is going to do. Coach Wade is going to do. He's going to get those kids to punch Kentucky in the mouth.
Well, as the old saying goes, if you want to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Just saying. When we come back, segment 2 of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Hi. For many years, I had to make tough decisions for my team and players. The decision for you is quite simple. If you have a house that is in need of repair, call my friend Dale. Dale buy houses. Recently, I spoke with Dale about my property. He gave me all of the do's and don'ts. He wanted me to be smart about the decision I was going to make. You ought to be smart too. Call Dale. He buy houses.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, 1 family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
My name is Dr. Ashley Blanche, chiropractic physician at Momentum Chiropractic and Sports Rehab. We are here to get you better faster if you suffer from any type of injury, ranging from sprain and strain injuries to nerve pain. If you have an injury and you have a question about it or want us to evaluate you, please give us a call at 225-218-6126, or you can visit our website, mymomentumcare.com, for more information about our services.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Coach, over across town, Southern Jaguars last weekend came up short against arch rival Grambling. But the Jaguar Nation really showed up. Almost 4,000 people in the mini dome. That was huge for that program, wasn't it?
Yeah, the men came up short, but the women did a really good job.
Yes.
Let me just say that if the fans took that kind of attitude for most of the team.
Yeah.
Listen, the team is down this year. They're miserable. They're playing really bad. But this is the time you have to show support.
That's right.
When people are down, they need encouragement.
Yeah.
You see, it's easy to support someone who's on top of the world, but it says a lot when you support people who are struggling because they're not going to stay there, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
They're not going to stay there. So
That's
let's
right.
get behind the team and come and support them.
And as fans, when people are down, our job is to pick them up, is it not?
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Southern belongs to that community in North Baton Rouge. You can't trade it for nothing else.
That's right.
Let's might as well let's get them. Let's have them. Put them on a pedestal.
This week, the Legislative Auditor's report revealed Southern Athletics ended the year with the $1.2 million deficit. If we could have a lot more big turnouts at the Mini Dome, that would go a long way and supporting the other sports teams as well. We could erase a whole big chunk of that, couldn't we?
Well, we need to have 5-point-something deficit if we're going to be a successful athletic program. Let's not fool ourselves. There ain't nobody else in the state of Louisiana other than LSU making money. They have big deficit. Southern is not going to make any money. So let's not fool ourselves. I want them to have a $5 or $6 million deficit, which means that they're supporting. The school is putting money in the athletic program to make them viable and make them competitive.
How much did the recently lifted NC2A sanctions, you think, play into this whole deficit situation?
I'm going to go back. We keep fooling ourselves about the deficit. Where do you think we're going to be able to make money? It's not going to happen.
Well, the reason I ask is having the sanctions, not able to get the caliber of player that Southern.
Doesn't matter if we got the caliber of players.
We still wouldn't come out and spend the money?
We're going to have a deficit because only football will make money.
Right.
The other 15 or 16 sports are going to lose money.
How much did Title IX contribute to that?
Well, because you have to have more women's sport because of football.
Right.
Football was the one that threw everything out of whack.
Right.
And because women doesn't play football. So now you have to have more women's sports. So that's why I'm saying, where do we think we're going to make money? Let's have a $5 or $6 million deficit and we'll be really happy.
So some people, however, Coach, wonder, could we do a better job with a facility that is the largest facility on campus, Mumford Stadium? Are we doing a good enough job considering last year we only used that stadium 4 days out of 365? Can we take another look at doing some revenue generation through the largest facility on campus?
Well, I would think so. We need to, because if you only use that facility 4 times, look at all the other opportunities you miss to bring in concerts and other events to that facility where you can generate some fun. But I don't want you to think, Clarence, that if we're going to end up being in the black, it's going to be red, paint, ink, blood all over the place. It's going to be red. And I'm not making fun, but I want to drive home that the fact is they ain't going to make any money.
And if you look all across the spectrum, Southeastern, I think, ran a deficit. ULL, I think, barely showed a profit of around 100 and some odd thousand. Grambling was about $500,000 in the red. So it's not just Southern, and we certainly don't want to give that representation or that implication. When we come back, it is segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. We're at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come on out and see us.
And about Nickel State, I bet they ain't the red.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Hey guys, it's Debbie Traylor of Debbie's Bridals. I'm back. We're bringing Debbie's to you. Prom, pageant, Mardi Gras, and formals. One time only this weekend in Gonzales, February 16th and 17th at the La Quinta Inn on South Cabela's Parkway. Standing room only. Check our website, debbiesbridal.net, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, or call Debbie's Bottle for more information.
Hi. For many years, I had to make tough decisions for my team and players. The decision for you is quite simple. If you have a house that is in need of repair, call my friend Dale. Dale buy houses. Recently, I spoke with Dale about my property. He gave me all of the do's and don'ts. He wanted me to be smart about the decision I was going to make. You ought to be smart too. Call Dale. He buy houses. Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, 1 family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit Breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
Welcome back for segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Point of clarification, Coach, before we go any further. If you look at major colleges all across the country, there's only a handful of them.
5!
Maybe 5 that are actually self-sufficient in athletics. LSU is one of them because of baseball and football and the revenue that's generated, right?
Yeah, Texas is another one for sure. And I don't want people to think that I'm crazy when I say
no.
Really? But I need them to understand. If you want a successful athletic program at Southern, you're going to have to run a big deficit. It ain't going to happen any other way because you're going to have to spend money to bring up facilities, hire the best coaches, get the best trainers, equipment. You're going to have to do all those things to attract the best quality athletes.
It's kind of like the old adage in business, sometimes you got to spend money to make money.
There you go.
Okay, all right. Speaking of baseball, the LSU baseball Tigers opening their season this week, and depending on which poll you subscribe to, as high as number 1 in the nation, as low as number 3 in the nation, again, depending on the poll. It's preseason, and in the grand scheme of things, doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Not worth the paper it's written on. But how tough is it not to get young people to believe the hype?
Well, it's impossible because they believe all of the hype.
Yeah.
Because that's what they live by. We live in a different world. Everything is they read and see and write to each other. It doesn't have to be factual. It could be fantasy, but they believe in it.
Well, wait, you mean if it's on the internet, it could possibly not be true?
Large stuff on the internet ain't real. It's a fantasy.
Would you rather be number 1 to start out, or would you rather be a little lower mid-pack and not have as big a bullseye on your back?
It's probably better to be in the middle of the pack somewhere. But if you're number 1, you have to prove it.
Well, yeah.
That's okay. There have been some teams who've gone from number 1 and rolled the season out, but you're going to have special players with great leadership. It's not always the coaching, it's the leadership of the team that makes everything happen.
Good point. It was also announced this week that fans at Alex Box Stadium, starting this season, will have 2 designated places in the stadium where they can purchase and consume beer and wine. Are we looking at the wave of the future here, Coach?
That's the wave of the future. Knucklehead, you better not go and get any beer. I'm telling you right now. Hey, but listen, I think it's good that fans can, who can handle their beverages, have that opportunity, and they can have a drink while they watch a really good baseball game.
Right.
I just think it's healthy as long as everybody keep everything in perspective.
And I'm glad you brought that point up, because some people may wonder, with the problems we have in our beloved state with drinking and driving, and the problems traditionally that young people have experimenting with alcohol and so on and so forth, some may wonder if we're sending the wrong message by selling alcohol at a game where the majority of the young people that are actually playing the game are legally too young to purchase the alcohol. What do you say to those people, Coach?
That's a great angle, Clarence. But it is about money making and supporting your athletic programs, and that's what we've come to. To have a high level athletic program, you need revenues, you need funds, you need the Benjamins. And once you get all of those things, you have to do some things that you probably don't want.
Right.
You know what? I'm so glad I'm not coaching. I don't have to face that and make those decisions where you compromise your integrity. And I'm not saying that those people are compromising their integrity.
Right.
But when you do things that you know a lot of people in society don't like, you have to be careful.
Right. Now, let's at the same time, however, be quite blunt here. Anyone that thinks people at games are not already consuming alcohol, they are living in la-la land, aren't they? I mean, we're drinking, certainly for tailgating outside the stadium, and believe it or not, I know it's hard for you to imagine, some folks actually bring stuff into the stadium. So it's not as though people aren't drinking at events already.
That's right, and probably now they're making it illegal to do it. I just hope they don't pass marijuana. You can smoke the Mary Jane at the game. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, that's a whole different show for a different day. When we come back, we're
on the road. We're
wrap
having
up
fun.
This week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Ashley Blanche, chiropractic physician at Momentum Chiropractic and Sports Rehab. We are here to get you better faster if you suffer from any type of injury, ranging from sprain and strain injuries to nerve pain. If you have an injury and you have a question about it or want us to evaluate you, please give us a call at 225-218-6126, or you can visit our website, mymomentumcare.com, for more information about our services.
It was nearly a decade ago that Brett teamed up to Imagine Your Parks, and you imagine big. 12 beautiful community parks from one end of the parish to the other, one family-sized water park, and 5 other parks just for your dogs. You have places to splash and places to explore. You have games to play and camps galore. No matter what you like to do or see, visit breck.org and see how together we have made Breck better than imagined.
Hi. For many years, I had to make tough decisions for my team and players. The decision for you is quite simple. If you have a house that is in need of repair, call my friend Dale. Dale buy houses. Recently, I spoke with Dale about my property. He gave me all of the do's and don'ts. He wanted me to be smart about the decision I was going to make. You ought to be smart too. Call Dale. He buy houses.
You don't have to understand the physics of flying to fly easy. Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Welcome back for the closing segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Oh my God, the Tuesday lunch special, the chicken fettuccine. If you have yet to come out and visit the great folks here at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, you are truly missing a treat. The service, hey, can I say anymore? It's South Louisiana. We thrive on good service. The food, again, it's South Louisiana. And on top of all of that, family oriented. So come on out and check out Scoreboards at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Coach, the New Alliance of American Football, or the AAF, kicked off last weekend, an 8-team league featuring new names, a few names that football fans may not know, a couple they may know. Steve Spurrier, Mike Singletary, guys of that caliber. Do you think that league has a chance of surviving, Coach?
I don't know much about it, Clarence, so I'm not going to say. You know, it's football and people love football, so it's got a chance to survive if it's have a short season. If you keep your season short.
10 weeks is the season.
Or 10 weeks, so
yeah.
You may have a chance to survive. And if you go into key markets where people, you know, you don't have they can't get the NFL.
Right.
So and people don't have a lot of other stuff to do with the excess money that they have. You got me? So it does have a chance.
On a fun note, there's a great article in Sports Illustrated recently on former LSU coach and now head coach for the Kansas Jayhawks, Les Miles. He's dropped 20 pounds, has given up eating meat, and has gone full-blown vegan. You think you could do that, Coach?
I may have to go to Kansas to do it. Les, I'm on my way, big guy. I'm coming. I want to lose 40 pounds.
If you were to accept another job at this stage in your life, and you had to leave our state, give me 3 Louisiana things you think you would miss the most, Coach.
Well, Gumbo is number 1.
That's number 1.
The people, number 2.
Number 2.
And Clarence Bugs, number 3.
Oh, bless your heart. But you got to be happy for a guy like Les Miles, Coach.
I love Les Miles. I call him Lester because and he eat grass, and that makes him unique. I mean, you know, he's a unique guy, and he loves young people.
Yeah.
You know, so I love some Les Miles.
That's one thing no one will ever be able to accuse Les Miles of being, is someone who does not have a heart for kids and someone who is willing to go the extra mile to not only make them good football players, but make them good citizens and good men.
But let's go even a little further.
Okay.
Kids who are at disadvantaged kids.
Great point.
See, you know, a lot of coaches get those kids and they want them to be something they're never going to be.
Right.
Les holds their hand through the process.
And that is one of the reasons why we will forever hope nothing but the best for Les Miles. Coach, we hope that you do some absolutely wonderful things for the folks up there in Kansas. And you know, I think you're right. Now that I think about it, probably easy to lose that weight when you're up there in Kansas. You don't have the etouffee and the jambalaya and, you know, all the things that go along with it. Probably real easy.
They have good beef up there.
Oh, yeah, they do have that. Got to give them that much. On behalf of the coach and the crew, I'm Clarence Buggs, and we look forward to being with you next week when we bring you another exciting and entertaining edition of the Roger Cador Show.